Red Primordial Rimuru by H_ZZZML5, Recruiting Maids. As I thought, Blue and Vert are together once again. They stick together almost all the time, not that it changes anything in our fights. I just beat them both together. I watched from above as they were sitting together and having a little chat in Vert's territory. There are only a few demons of the green lineage guarding the place, so I'll have no problem infiltrating, as I already am. Blue. I think we can beat up Rouge pretty good, don't you? Vert. Although I do wish for that outcome, I still do not believe it is probable. Blue. Oh come on. We've been sparring together and killing greater demons together. That prideful Red probably hasn't done even an ounce of training. Vert. While it does sound reasonable because of how notoriously prideful the Red lineage is, I don't think we can beat him nevertheless. Blue. You're being too pessimistic, Vert. Come on, we could set a couple of traps and pounce on him when he's caught like the rat he is. Vert. That's an extremely heavy underestimation of Rouge. After all, he beat the two of us last time, and he was holding back. Blue. Well, it's worth a try, right? Besides, we primordials are immortal and can revive, so win-win, right? Vert sighs as she contemplates Blue's suggestion. Blue wore a cheeky and arrogant smile that clearly showed Vert what will happen if they fight Rouge. Third Pov, Vert. I suppose it won't hurt to gauge Rouge's strength. After all, we are capable of reviving ourselves and are therefore immortal. Blue. Yes, exactly. So you got a plan? Vert. You suggested fighting Rouge to me, without a plan? Blue. Well, I mean, I did suggest having some traps maybe. Oh, what I meant was if you have a better idea of what to do. Vert. Since our fight with Rouge, I have been investigating his actions and took note of his fights with the other primordials. Blue. You did? How did you escape from Rouge if you were spying on him? Vert. I contacted demons from my lineage who had been around their fights. Blue. Oh, I see, so what did they find out? Vert. First and foremost was Rouge's abilities and skills, which were both more powerful and efficient than our spells. Blue. Yeah, I remember when he used a fireball that somehow scorched my arm real good despite having magic resistance. Blue then takes another cookie from a tray of snacks she cooked up for the two of them. Vert. Yes, and that brings me to how much stronger his own resistance is. He was capable of blocking Noir's Nihility Beam, which had severed John's arm off. Blue. So since he's the strongest primordial, if we beat him then we'll become the strongest. Vert's face becomes noticeably annoyed and simply rolls her eyes. Vert. Whatever, I'm only doing this to gauge his strength and since we can her. Rouge. It seems you're even more capable than I took you for, Vert. Vert's eyes widen as she immediately stands and turns to face Rouge. Blue. What? Literally, where were you? Vert had her subordinates everywhere. Rouge. And as usual, Blue, you are the most hyperbolic primordial out of all of us, except Noir maybe. Blue. Hey, don't ever compare me with that goofy weirdo. Rouge. As for your question, I was going around knocking out the subordinates you had before coming here. Blue. Hey Vert, let's beat Rouge. Black and Blue, let's get back at him for that. Vert. Ahem, maybe I'll resign myself to Blue. No, Vert, you promised. You wanted to see how strong he is, didn't you? Vert. When did I ever promise you? Oh, whatever. He's in my territory and it's highly likely that Rouge had some plans for me. Vert. Very well. Besides, I bet Rouge had similar ideas. Rouge. As expected of the most calculating primordial, I am here to recruit the pair of you to become my subordinates. Blue and Vert's eyes and mouths widen in puzzlement, about to ask thousands of questions. Blue. What the heck? What makes you think we'll work for you? Vert. I must also decline the invitation. Rouge. I am not asking, you will become my subordinates. If you have objection, then win against me. Vert glares at Rouge, who maintains a broad smile, waiting for Vert and Blue's inevitable attack against him. Blue immediately conjured a storm of fine, ice needles, as small as a strand of hair, hoping a couple would impale Rouge. Rouge plainly activated his multidimensional barrier, preventing all of Blue's projectiles from reaching him. Vert. That's not a simple magic barrier, it looks much more advanced. Rouge. I'm sure both you know better than to go against not just the strongest primordial, but also the strongest demon in the demon realm. Blue. Precisely why defeating you will be the ultimate milestone for us to rule the demon realm. Vert shivers as she accurately guesses what Blue proclaims next. Blue. Therefore, you being a prideful and arrogant fool, we, who have tirelessly trained for centuries, will be able to beat you without a sweat. Vert. Damn it. Just how many weaklings did you kill to get this boastful? This brainless nitwit is jeopardizing our every chance for survival. Rouge. Who? Then I'd like to see the fruits of your effort, so I can eat it and show how futile your training was. Blue. Oh, now you're trying my luck, you arrogant bastard. Vert. Help me. Vert stares dumbfounded as Blue fire multiple icicle shots towards Rouge, who once again blocks it with his multi-dimensional barrier. Rouge. You done with those small fry attacks? Blue. Yeah, I'll actually use strong attacks befitting primordials. Blue conjures icicle rain, which is completely nullified by Rouge's barrier once more. Vert moves behind Rouge and uses dark beam, a weaker variant of nihility beam. This attack was also unable to damage Rouge as his barrier was still active and surrounds him. Vert backs away from Rouge as he chuckles, watching Blue continue her pointless attacks. Blue. Come on, Vert, don't give up now. Vert nods to Blue as they both start another spell. Blue unleashes nuclear cannon, whilst Vert casts acid shell and lightning blast. In response, Rouge teleports out of the spell's range and retaliates with infernal chains. Multiple red-hot chains over 2,000 degrees manifest from magic circles as they make their way towards Blue and Vert. 4 chains reach Vert and pierce through her multi-layer barrier, as the chains are wrapped around her legs and bound her arms together, scorching them in the process, and forcing her to kneel. Vert lets out a loud groan as her skin makes a loud sizzle from being burnt. Blue also tried to block the chains using her multi-layer barrier, but the chains bind and scorch her skin in the same manner as Vert. In a matter of minutes, both were made to kneel before Rouge. Blue. Gra. Arg. It's hot, Rouge. Like I said, your efforts were meaningless and only stalled your inevitable fates. Blue. I will never serve you. I'd rather die, you pathetic redhead. Rouge. Is that so? Rouge slowly walks towards Blue, and takes a knee to be on the same level as her. Rouge suddenly stabs his hand into Blue's chest. Blue's face becomes one of distraught and agony as her core is crushed and turned into dust. Vert watches in horror as Blue's eyes close and her body dissipates into magicules. Rouge gets up and walks towards Vert. Vert. If you think I'll serve you after what you just did, you're better off doing the same to me, so go search for the other primordials. Rouge. I don't think I will. What do you think happens after a primordial's core is crushed by someone, huh? Vert silently nods her head a little as Rouge turns his head. Blue's magicules gather until her body reforms in front of their eyes. As Blue reforms, she puts on a neutral face and stands still, not talking or moving. Vert. Blue, are you all right? Blue. I am perfectly fine, as I am in the presence of my Lord Rouge Sama. Vert. What? Rouge. Sama. Blue. Yes, I now recognize Rouge Sama as the one who is above me and who will rule over me for eternity no matter the circumstances. Vert. Why would you? Rouge. Excellent, Blue. And now, since you've seen what happens, it's your turn, Vert. Vert. You mean whoever crushes the primordial's core will forever take command of that primordial? Rouge. Yes, that's correct. As you can see, I'm sure you'll become an excellent servant, Vert. Vert. No, I refuse. Vert tries to struggle in vain as the infernal chains that binds her do not release and continues to burn her, making her face agony constantly. Rouge. I'll end this quickly as an act of mercy. Rouge, like he did with Blue, swiftly jabbed his fingers into Vert's chest and took hold of her core. Vert gasps for breath as her core is shattered right away. Rouge pulls his hand out of Vert, shaking the dust off as she dissipates in the same manner as Blue beforehand. Blue's eyes are closed as this happens, as she knows that Vert will come back and they'll be together as servants of Rouge.